What do you say, Facebook family? How's everybody out there in the real world doing? I say real world because why? We live in a fake world sometimes when we're only in our bubble and we don't really get out and talk to other people and exchange ideas and see what people are doing in the real world, right? So how y'all doing in the real world? Anyways, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me what's new. Tell me what's shaking. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you're doing today. I hope you guys are getting ready for Christmas. That's what I hope. I hope you get in the real world. Right? You hear that, right? So tell me, what are you guys doing right now? Tell me where you are. I gave you some homework last week. I hope that you guys did that. How many of you on here actually did some of that homework I gave you? I gave you a little teaser. I wanted to help you get some deals so that you could get on here today and we could talk about your deals. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to do some deals. I wanted to teach you how to make some money. That's what I want. I'm all about making some money. I ain't gonna be here long. I got about 40 more summers to go, so that's how I predict my activities. Is I count them by the summers I got left.
Robert Coop is on here. He says, "Good morning, USA," from Australia.
Mine says broadcast interrupted.
Mine does too.
Hey, there you guys are back. We're back. So I wanted to know how many of you got some of that homework done. This is kind of a tease, right? If you watched Wednesday, then you know what I did on Wednesday. I gave you some homework. I gave you action items. I told you what to do. I told you how to do it. I told you when and where to do it. And I want to see how many of you actually did it, okay? How many of you did it? That's what I want to know. Hey, all right, so we had a shout out from Robert Coop.
Yep.
Morning USA from Australia. Hey, Robert, good news is I was watching some financial news this morning at about 4:30 in the morning in the bed, talking about the Australian market and how prices are starting to correct themselves out there. And I think that's probably could be good news for you. I know we've talked about how the market out there is pretty expensive. So I'd keep my eyes on that.
Okay, so we have Francisca. She says, "Hello, Sean. Hello, everyone."
Hello.
Toby says, "Hello, Zach."
Hey,
Sean
Toby.
He says, "Hello, everybody." Hello. Steve, he says, "Hello, everybody from Florida." Robert says, "Hello, everybody." Sean, she says, "I'm in Chicago picking up my daughter from the airport right now."
Awesome. Let's get her on the call. Let's get her excited about some real estate. You know, real estate is an investment. And if you understand anything about investments, they're risky, right? How do we eliminate risk with any investment? We educate ourselves. So I say that because when I first got into real estate, everybody told me I was crazy. They said, "Oh man, this real estate market's a bubble. It's a bubble. It's a bubble. You're going to lose everything." Well, the reality to that is yes, everything's a bubble when it's on the rise, but you've got to be smart enough to watch your investments, know what your investments are doing so you know when to get in and get out, and to educate yourself. Educate yourself. That's why we're here. We're learning. We're educating. So I think it's important, okay? So, oh, what just happened there? I just went dead. Okay. So I want you to be aware that the more you educate, the better you will become at any investments or any investing that you do. It helps eliminate the risk, as we say. So are there safer strategies? Of course there are. You know, there's strategies that require less money, like wholesaling, like creative financing. They require less money, so there's less risk involved. Or is there higher rewards with more risk? Of course there is. But you got to have the stomach to be able to go do that. You know, people always say, "Zach, how'd you make your first millions?" Well, I was fearless. That's what happened. I did what everybody told me I couldn't do. I went out and educated myself, and I listened to myself, and I went and did what others wouldn't do. That's what I did. Okay? So let me say this, though. The first $1 million you ever make will be the hardest $1 million you ever make. The second, the third, and the fifth, and the 10th, and the 20th, they're all easy because it's a duplicatable process. And that's what you got to understand. You got to get the system down to make that one. So hey, listen, I welcome you all to the call. This is Zach Childress. I am your real estate coach, and this is your real estate investing talk show, and I'm happy to have you here. We've got the lovely Jill with us today. Say hi, Jill, with a big smile on her face. Look at that pretty smile. So I want you to be aware that we are here to help you guys and support you. If you're brand new and you've never been to our real estate investing talk show, let me give you a little lowdown on how it goes. We meet every Tuesday right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat place. Except for you. You could be in your car, you could be at home, wherever. You got an internet connection. We come on Tuesdays, we talk about real estate. We talk about topics, we answer questions, we talk about deals. We do all kinds of stuff on Tuesday. So it's important that you join us every Tuesday. Tell your friends, share this message, because the more you share it, the more we create ripples in this world and community of helping people get out of the rat race that they might be in. Listen, you might have a job right now and you might love your job, and I'd never tell you to leave your job if you're happy there. But what I would tell you is start setting side hustle on. Start hustling on the side. Start doing something that you're comfortable with. Start doing something like real estate investing. Get involved in it. Do a deal. Get an apartment. Get a house. Rent it out. Make some extra money, okay? Is it going to come with ups and downs? Of course it is. It's like any type of investments, you know? Like one of the new things that I've been doing, I know I've said this over and over again that I didn't really like it. Well, I've been proven wrong, because I had some really, really close friends of mine show me what cryptocurrency really is, and showed me how they've taken $100,000 and turned it into $3 million over the last 6 months. And I thought to myself, well, that's a daggum good return. So I had to start educating myself, right? I had to start looking. I mean, when you can make 100% return in a day, I don't care what you believe or what you don't believe and how it's backed or is backed or not backed or whatever. You know, you can't deny that type of return. So I had to wake up to the process, right? I had to go out and hire a coach, right? I had to hire somebody that knew more than me to help me understand what I didn't know, to help guide me through the process. I had to hire a consultant. I had to join masterminds. I had to surround myself with people that were doing it on a daily activity and knew more than me, so that I could mitigate my risk and allow myself to make high yields of return. It's what I tell you guys constantly with real estate. If you want high yields of return in real estate, surround yourself with people who know more than you. Hire a coach, get a consultant, come to events, be around what you need to be around to learn what you don't know. That's the purpose of being in any type of investments. See, when you don't know how it works, you don't know what it is, you don't know how that transaction or that transaction unfolds, you don't know how to keep yourself safe, the first reaction you have is, oh, it won't work. It won't work. Oh, it's not going to happen. It won't work. So what happens is you deny yourself the ability to embrace the training or the consulting or the coaching that you need to grow into a better investor. And listen, I'm here to tell you, I'm the same way, okay? I did the same thing. You go back and watch a video. How long ago was it, Jill? About 4 or 5 months ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was about 5 months ago. I did a video on why I would not invest in cryptocurrency. I sure did. And I'm here on the air, live, telling you I've ate my own words. Because after that, I had a friend show me what's called a cyber wallet, and I was pretty damn impressed. And I said, well, I need to know what you know, man. Obviously, I'm ignorant to this, and so therefore my ignorance is speaking out, and I don't need to be that way. So that's obviously when I got trained, and I got consulting and coaching. And I mean, I'll put it this way. I won't keep talking about cryptocurrency, but I'll put it this way. I have doubled my money in 2 days. Now take that up. okay? And I doubled it and I cashed out. Take my money, leave what's in there as play money, and take my money and go on. The point is we do the same thing in real estate. I'm not here to tell you to do one or the other. I'm just here to shed some light on something that I felt like I spoke wrong on, and I need to correct that because now I'm educated. But you need to look at real estate the same way. If you feel like getting into real estate is risky, it's because you're not trained well enough. If you think investing into real estate could be dangerous, it's because you're not trained well enough. If you feel like going into real estate you could lose money, it's because you're not trained well enough. That's the point that you have to understand, is you've got to be able to sit and learn how all of this works, okay? So I want you to embrace training. I need you to embrace whatever it takes, whatever you got to do to embrace the idea that you only know what you know, and your answers to questions are always going to be no until you learn what you need to know to see and identify the opportunities that are in front of you. So
we have to go on air.
Oh, well, let me talk about what we're going to do today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet with you today. I said that last Wednesday, and I did keep it short and sweet. But here's the deal, okay? If you're brand new, tell me you're brand new. Tell me where you're from. I want to talk to you. What's this? Robert Coop says.
He said crypto rocks.
Robert, you need to call me, man. I got some insider information, buddy. I'm going to tell you. Call me, Robert. I got something that's going to blow your mind, okay? So I do, man. You need to get on the phone with me right now. I don't want to turn this into a cryptocurrency call, but I'm riding high right now on cryptocurrency. So give me a call, okay? But today's call, for those of you that are brand new, today's training is all about a comment that I keep getting a lot from you guys, which is contingencies. Contingencies needed to stay safe. What is it that you need to make sure that are in contracts to help you keep safe? And these are some things that I want to talk about. It's a super short call. And why am I doing this? Because this is a lead on, like a part 2 from Wednesday's call. If you're on Wednesday's call, then you were very clear. I gave you homework to do. I did not tell you to go contract the properties. I just told you to find them, run the numbers, analyze them, and come back to me, okay? So you should have been bringing deals to me today. If you aren't bringing deals to me today, then that means that you're lazy and you didn't do what your coach told you to do, okay? So you need to get in the game. Wake up, people. It's not that holidays ain't here yet, okay? So today's add-on to Wednesday's training is I want to tell you what you need to have in your contract, or at least the contingency aspects of it, so that you're safe when you move forward. You should be using an LOI. If you remember that call, we talked about LOIs versus purchase last Tuesday. Literally, these 2 weeks, last week and to this week, has all been built around. If you're identifying and doing what I'm asking you to do, you will have realized that last week and this week is all in one to get you to take some movement before the holidays. And if you haven't caught on to that, then you're not applying the information I'm trying to teach you here, okay? So I need you to pay attention to what I'm teaching you, okay? So that's what it is today. If you're brand new, you're joining us for the first time, we also go on YouTube. We also go on podcasts. We also go on our Blog Talk Radio. We do that as I'm getting the fingers over here. We've got to be doing that right now. They're waiting on us over there. So I'm sharing that with you because we'll take breaks over there and I'll come back and answer your questions. So let's rock and roll.
All right. So we are going to go on air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, it's Zach Childress, your real estate coach. Welcome back to another real estate investing talk show. We're happy to have you here, whether you're listening to us on the radio or the podcast. I appreciate all of you for following back up with us every Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone. Listen, if you're listening to us for the first time, go back and listen to a bunch of our other radio shows, a ton of our other podcasts. Check them out, listen to us. The other thing I need to tell you is I have a very strong community on Facebook, a strong community. We've got our students on Facebook. We've got our team on Facebook. We've got our coaches on Facebook. They're all on here. We're all a community here, learning, talking to each other, sharing information on Facebook. If you're not on there with us, you need to be on there with us. You need to go over to reisuccessacademy.com/Facebook. And this is, if you're on Facebook, you don't need to do that because you're already on there, okay? But if you're listening to me on the podcast or the radio show or YouTube, you need to go over to the Facebook page. You need to like it. You need to join it. You need to follow it. You need to join our shows. You need to talk to us, ask us questions, be part of what we're doing, and share this message. It is more valuable to me. Listen, if you came in my front door and offered me $50,000, or you would said, I'll give you $50,000, Zach, or I'll come on your Facebook message and share it every single time I tell you to share the message. I don't want the 50 grand. I mean, okay, thank you. But I'm not doing this show for $50,000. I'm doing this show to create ripples in this world, to create ripples internationally. I'm doing this show to add value for you guys so that you can add value to the people you know, so that you can bring them into a community that actually gives a shit, excuse me for saying it that way, about who's watching and what they're doing and how they're doing it. Like I am that guy that gives a crap, okay? So I want you to be more embraced into what we do and how we do it, and to share that message with other people, okay? Mr. Rob's on the call today. Hey, so listen up for all my listeners. I'm not going to be on here an hour with you today. I can tell you that right now. Why? Well, I got some things going on. I got my ear over here. It feels like I'm deaf in one ear, and I can only half hear in the other ear. I feel like I'm leaning, just a little bit. Let me get back up here. So I need to get my medicine in my ear is what I need to do. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but I know you guys are like, get to the point, Zach. Well, if I got to the point every time, you guys probably wouldn't watch me. Let's be honest.
It's like, do you ever just reach out and...
Do you ever just reach out and rub your earlobe? That's an inside joke. Hey, so listen, get a clean sheet of paper out. If you're riding down the road listening to me, don't do that. But it is about contingencies. How do you keep yourself safe? Well, listen, let me ask my Facebook list watchers today. Let's see how many of them can get this right. I talked about this last week, a week from today. What is the best form of agreement to go into with a seller to keep yourself safe without being binded to take an action on the agreement? Who knows the answer to that? Let's see how many people paid attention last week. I might need to give something away, huh?
Maybe it might get them.
I'm going to give them a fraction of a Bitcoin.
We'll take it.
I'll just buy a whole bunch of Bitcoin and start giving out fractions of it to people for participating. All right, who knows the answer to that? Come on, people. You guys got to pay attention. Letter of intent, Mr. Steve Mansfield. Corey, letter of intent. Good job, guys. You are paying attention. So one of the very first ways you can keep yourself safe if you want to make a lot of offers is simply use a letter of intent. Look, they're all coming in now. Ariana. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
It's okay. We have Corey, which I do want to give a shout out to Corey. He's got a deal that he's working on with AC.
Hey, is that the one that sent the...
He lives in Birmingham.
But is that the one that sent in the nice thing about AC?
Yes.
So let me tell you how awesome our coaches are. Let me just tell you this real quick, if I can dig it up. Let me just tell you how we roll around here, okay? It's in here somewhere, but oh, here it is. So out of the blue, we had one of our students just send us this nice email about their coach. We didn't ask for it.
Nope.
Jill sent me an email that said, hey, an unexpected compliment for one of our coaches. Actually, he's our main coach. He's been with me for
He's amazing. He's been with you for...
Shit, I don't even know. Almost
15,
a decade maybe now?
15 years? Maybe you guys have
10 years maybe. He's seen me when I was a little bitty rabbit trying to dig a hole to... Now I'm a great big possum, I guess. I don't know. So
Possum?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, here's what he said. So this is just a compliment to one of my coaches. So Corey wrote in, so far so good. Coach AC is as advertised, genuine, direct, and funny. Does a great job of holding students accountable while encouraging us to take action so we can grow. He makes it a pleasure to learn and has me looking forward to more. Excited to have Coach AC as my guide along this real estate investing journey. You understand? Like that's why man, I love that stuff, man. That's awesome, Corey. I think that's amazing, Corey. True that, he said. So listen, the number one thing to keep you safe, a lot of you got it right, is an LOI. If you're going to make a lot of offers, use an LOI. Just use it. Listen, if people call you up and say, well, I can't use that. That's not a real contract. Say, great. Well, if your seller isn't going to accept that or anywhere close, let's put it up on a state contract. It's pretty easy, right? I'm using the LOI as my intent. My intent. Okay? So know that. It's my intent. The other side of the equation is what else keeps you safe? Well, I get this one a lot too. This could be part of your contingency. It could be in your contract. People are afraid when it comes to the EMD. What is an EMD? Who knows the answer to that, Facebook family? What is an EMD? What is an EMD? Who knows the EMD? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. 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 What is an EMD? What's the EMD? Come on, man. You guys listen, we've been learning all year long, and you guys better know what an EMD is. I'm going to be real upset at you guys if you don't know what an EMD is. Hey, so here, listen, for my radio listeners and my podcast, this is why you got to be on our Facebook. This is so I can see if you're learning. I can challenge you. I can make sure you're learning, okay? Because right now, oh, Talon, good job. No, Henry, it's not your down payment. It is your earnest money deposit, EMD. Way to go, Talon.
That's pure awesome. Awesome.
Way to go, Talon. Earnest money deposit. That's right. It's your earnest money deposit. So a lot of people have a lot of fear about earnest money deposit because why? Well, they're like, well, I'm going to put this money up. How do I get it back? What if I want it back? Well, this goes into what we're talking about today, contingency. See, your earnest money deposit is safe as long as you do it correctly, and that is put that money with an attorney or a title company that is a third-party, neutral representation of the contract. That's what an attorney and a title company is for. They're a neutral party that represents not you, the seller, not you, the buyer, the contract, okay? That's their whole job, is to represent the contract. So, I went down. So you got to understand that when you're putting earnest money deposits out, if you hand that money over to a seller, the likelihood you're going to get it back is zero, okay? You've got to keep it with a third-party neutral company that is in line with understanding that they're to represent the contract. That's the whole purpose of it, okay? So when I write an earnest money deposit check, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care any other than the fact that I'm going to put it with a neutral party because I'm getting it back. I can tell you that. Because as soon as I give it to that neutral party, I also ask for, now, each title company may call it something a little bit different, but I asked for an earnest money deposit release form or a release of earnest deposits. So it'll be called something of that nature. And I want that form because here's why. They don't care about my opinion. They don't care about my emotions. They don't care about my wins or losses. They only care about the contract and how I release it. So I get that form. So if I'm ready to get out, I fill that form out and I submit it in. That form always is submitted before your contingency period is over, okay? That's how you're secure with your EMD. As long as you are inside your contingency period, your EMD will be released. So that's something that you got to be prepared for, okay? Know that. How do I get my EMD back? I stay within my contingency period. Okay, once I move outside my contingency period, I release my rights to that EMD back. Now, also, you could always write in either a new contingency, you could write it in the contract, or you could add it to an addendum that simply says all earnest money deposit will be returned to buyer whether transaction closes or not. Basically, it's saying, hey, look, whether I buy it or I don't buy it, I get my money back. Okay? And that will work with a lot of for sale by owners. It won't always work with agents because their intent is to keep that money for their client, because now they've done a good job and they've made their client money because you went past your contingency period and then decided to pull out. And it's almost like a release so that they don't file breach of contract on you. Because if you go outside your contingency period and then now you want to get out because you found an inspection issue, well, you're not inside your contingency, so you want out. So the reality is you didn't meet your contingency inside your contingency, so now you have to fully execute the contract. So in reality, you could be in breach of contract. So they say, well, instead of filing breach, we'll just keep the EMD. And it's the way it works. So we're going to come back and talk about some other contingency from a podcast and my blog radio. So hang with us. This is Zach Childers, your real estate coach. Be right back. All right, Facebook, what you got for me?
So Sean, she says, hi, Zach. I'm brand new, and I actually have a meeting with an investor on Thursday afternoon.
Sean? Is it Sean or Shauna?
Sean.
Sean. Sorry. You have a meeting with an investor. What kind of investor? Like a investor who buys real estate, an investor who wants to loan you money? What kind of investor?
Henry, I do want to give a shout out to Henry because we hadn't seen Henry in forever. Hopefully, maybe we'll see him tonight.
Henry, you coming to the Christmas party, the Rhea Christmas party?
I sent him the information this morning. He said he wasn't invited, and I said, you're invited. Ariana, she says hello. She's back with us. She says hello. Brian, he says hi from Arkansas, or ARK, Arkansas, that is. Cheers. I think he's laughing at us because remember last time you and I picked everywhere but Arkansas? Everywhere
but Arkansas. Argentina? Where's he from? Afghanistan? Where's he from?
Corey is oh, that was AC. Rodney, he said, hop online.
AC's on here?
Yep.
And I just read what Corey wrote. Hey, look at that. Surprise there, buddy.
Robert Coop, he said he's sure that you could give him a Bitcoin.
Oh, he wants me to give him a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I didn't say a Bitcoin. I said a fraction of a Bitcoin. Let me make sure my language is correct here.
Oh, Henry said he'll be here.
Awesome, Henry. We're going bowling tonight, buddy.
He also said he lost his train of thought. His phone rang when he was answering.
Hey, but listen, the Real Estate Investors Club here that we're having our Christmas party on, Robert or Henry, it's a Toys for Tot gathering, so you got to bring a toy, okay? Make sure you bring a toy.
I sent him all the information this morning.
Okay, great.
So I do want to give a shout out to Rodney. He is in the coaching program.
Way to go, Rodney, being on here. What kind of real estate questions you guys got from me while we're on a break from the radio?
We have a couple of new people here.
Woo! We got some new people. Welcome. I'm Zach Childers. I'm your real estate coach. If you've never met me before, never seen me before, you're in the right spot. All the community on here needs to welcome the new people. You need to tell them they're in the right spot. You need to tell them to stay tuned in.
We've got some older people also that hadn't been with us for a while, like
who ain't been with us for a while?
John and Oscar. I hadn't seen them pop up here for a couple weeks. So welcome back. Janine, she's new. I hadn't seen her.
Hey, what kind of real estate questions you guys for me? If not, I'm gonna pop back over to the radio. I want your questions though. I'm trying to coach you here, guys. I'm trying. I can't beat a horse to drink water. Okay.
Steve says, what time period for contingency? Most are saying 14 days.
Oh, I like 14 days. And most, agents will accept 14 days. With for sale by owners, I shoot for 30. I say, look, I want 30 days to close and 30-day contingency. So that means I got all the way till the closing date to pull out if I want to.
So John Madison says he's new here from Illinois.
Illinois, John from Illinois. I like that. There's a lot going on in Illinois.
Awesomeness.
Janine, she said, hi, loves your book.
Do you mean the big one on you? Look, you ought to try reading this book. It's too big to read, but hey, that's a good point. If you have not got my book, you need to get my book. It's on Amazon. It's also on Barnes and Nobles now. Proud of that. But you just need to go to Amazon. You need to search for My First Deal Playbook and get a copy of that book. That's all you need to do. I think it's like $6 or something like that. Hey, and if you got the book, leave me a comment. Leave a review on there. You guys are doing a great job of all that. I appreciate it.
Tracy says, hello. Thank you, Zach. I'm reading your new book. Matthew says, hello, guys. Can wholesaling be done totally at home from your computer? Love your book, Zach.
I love all of you that love my book. I just love it. You guys are saying that. That makes me smile. I feel like I'm blushing. Am I red? I feel like I'm red. Maybe it's my ear infection. Oh, jeez. I'm in a rare mood today. Can you wholesale from home? Absolutely you can. It's known as virtual wholesaling. I lived in California and I was wholesaling all over the United States. I still wholesale all over the United States. I just have a little bit of a different advantage than most of you because I have a platform and I have hundreds of thousands of students that follow us and learn from us that, submit deals in, and we're able to do it all over the country. But yes, you can do it from home. There's easy ways to do it. Hey, you know what we need to write? Let's write on the board virtual wholesaling. Okay. I'm going to make a topic for that. I'm going to talk about some strategies for virtual wholesaling. So that'll be one of our trainings coming out the first of the year. We'll do that right out the gate because the rest of the year, I think next week we're doing our whole raffle giveaway stuff, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so listen, this is your last week on that, guys. What does that mean? I'm giving away TVs. I'm giving away iPods and iPads and tool sets. And I'm giving away computers and Home Depot gift cards and Lowe gift cards. I'm giving away all kinds of stuff. And all you have to do, you might have done it already, is I think we started it like 2 weeks ago. If you buy anything from us, whether from support or from our student advisors, I don't care if it's a book, if it's a CD, a training, anything, a ticket to our next event, if you haven't gotten that yet. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Anything, you get your name put into a raffle box. Week on Wednesday, we are going to go live for like about 2 hours. We're just going to take questions and we're going to talk and we're going to raffle, and I'm going to pull names from a hat, and if your name gets pulled, you're going to be a lucky winner. Yes, you are a lucky winner. You'll be getting TVs. Look, you'll get stuff that you won't even need Santa Claus, because I'm going to be your Santa Claus. But all you got to do is buy something. I don't care what it is. It could be a $6 book from someone here in the office. You got to do it from someone in the office. Or you could buy a $36,000 coaching or consulting program. That could be $6 or $36,000. I don't care what it is. Whatever you need, we got everything in between, and your name gets into a raffle box. So you need to do that, and that's next week. We got a bunch of tickets in the raffle box already, and I'm going to pull, I don't know, maybe 10 names, and somewhere around there, I might get excited and pull some more and create some more activities for you guys. But you got to do that. You got to get in. You got to get your name in the box. Get your name in the box.
We've got some more questions here.
Okay.
John Madison said, just getting started in fix and flip, trying to see where or what direction to head.
Fix and flip. So you want to do rehabbing. So the best advice I can ever give anybody that wants to do rehabbing is that you need to get to a live type training, not a seminar, but a live in the field type training, which we offer. Yes, I'm telling you what I can do for you, okay? That means you need to come to Huntsville, spend 3 days with me. I'll teach you everything you want to know about fix and flips. I'll get you the contracts, the marketing, the segmentation, the understanding of which areas in your town are going to be best for it. Plus, I'll put you on a bus for 1 day, and it's not a bunch of us. It might be 20 or 30 of us, and we'll go out in the field, and we'll actually look at these properties and look at deals, and we'll take you into some of my deals, and I'll show you firsthand what we're doing, okay, so that you can get engaged in that process. So be part of that. Be part of that, okay?
So, no, Steve. Well, no, I'm not sure. I hadn't seen Melody yet today, Steve, but I'll let her know that you're looking for her.
Steve, Jill is Melody. I think she's got a little bit of a bug. So
yeah, I'm not quite sure. I hadn't seen her yet. Jeremy says, hi, I'm new coming from Atlanta.
Jeremy's new from Atlanta.
Robert, he says the book is an easy read and very informative. Great book for the new investors. Highly recommend it.
That's awesome.
Steve said the book is great content. Meat and potassium, not butterflies.
Meat and potassium. I love that.
Ruben says, when calling buyers and sellers for co-wholesaling, what should we say if they ask to see my buyer's list if I don't have one yet?
You don't give anybody your buyer's list, Ruben.
No.
No. We don't. Listen, if you're trying to co-wholesale a deal and somebody says to you, well, hey, look, I got this deal. Let me see your buyer's list. Are you crazy? That's like you're handing over all the names, phone numbers, and emails of all the people that are going to help you make money to someone else so that now they can call them and take the deal out from underneath you. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem telling them, hey, look, I've got 20 strong buyers on my list that are active, that are buying, or I might say something like I got, 100 buyers on my list, but only maybe 15 of them are really active, but, let's get it in front of them. I would share that information with them. So, all right, look, I need to finish this up with the radio people, so let's do this.
All right, so let's go back on air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, it's Zach Childress. Welcome back to your real estate investing talk show on the radio. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, we are talking today all about staying safe with contingencies. We're keeping it easy, guys. Are there 101 different contingencies you could use? Of course there is. But how do you stay safe? Well, think about the first part of the call. It's simple. You use an LOI to initiate the intent. You have to use the EMD and keep yourself safe there. And how do you get that money back? We walked you through that. So now we've eliminated two of the biggest things that most people stop from making offers. One, the binding agreement, and they don't want to get stuck. Two, the loss of earnest money deposits. Three, what are you going to put in the contract to get yourself out of it if something goes wrong, or if you are trying to sell that contract and you didn't do a good job and your intent failed, okay? Do we always have good intent, but sometimes it does not execute the way we want? Of course, we absolutely do. And we need a backup plan to keep us safe, to get us out of that, okay? And the first backup plan is always an inspection contingency. Listen, I've been investing full-time for 16 plus years, okay? I'm going on 2 decades right now. Well, close, decade and a half. Is it a decade? Is it a decade 10 years?
Yes.
Centuries 100.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not a century. I'm a decade. I'm a decade and a half. I'm a decadadian, okay? Say that real fast. I'm a decadadian. I'm a decade and a half into this business. And I can tell you this, I have never, ever written an offer that did not have a contingency period in it. Never, okay? And I know some people, what they're going to say to you, oh, well, if you do that, you may not get the deal. Well, I don't want the deal then. I don't want the deal. Listen, if you're living in a mindset that states that you've got to remove an inspection contingency from your offer, which is there to keep you safe. It's to keep you safe and to make sure you have the right investment. And you're going to remove that? That's crazy. That's absolute crazy. I don't want the deal. I don't want it. And if that's your mindset, then you live in a place in your mind where you don't understand what an abundance world is. You're in a scarcity mindset that's the only deal you can get. There is no other deal. That's the only deal out there. I've got to make that deal work. And let me tell you this, and let me promise you this. If that's the mindset you're in, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to make a huge mistake because you're going to act in a scarcity mindset and you're going to try to turn a deal into a deal that is not a deal. And therefore, you're going to lose money because you're going to move too fast. You're going to make decisions that are based on emotion that have nothing to do with you making a logical decision to move forward on a deal that's going to work for you. Now, if you're 10 years into this and you've done 100+ deals, maybe you're in a place where you could make an offer without a contingency for inspection. Maybe you're in a place where you've got enough reserves that if something goes wrong, you could protect yourself. Maybe you're in a place where you could walk through a property and understand what needs to be fixed. If that's you, then hey, do it. The only time you'll ever see me not have a contingency when I buy is when I buy from an auction, because they don't allow you to do it. You don't get that luxury, okay? But when I'm writing an offer on an REO or a for sale by owner or through a wholesaler, I will guarantee you that if there is not an inspection contingency in there, I will add it with an addendum. That contingency does twofolds for you. Number one, it keeps you safe so that you don't end up buying an investment where that you could not put an inspection on, listen, you might only see the surface of that property, but that inspection will come back and they might find things about it that you had no clue. They're going to cost you an extra $18,000, which your profit was only $15,000. So now you got to pay to sell the house. You would best be served to lose that $350 that you paid on that inspection and move on, instead of having to pay $2,000 to sell it and tie your money up for that long. It's the cost of capital right now, right? Money's expensive. So you got to think about that. And that's something you need to really think about. Inspection contingency is the ultimate contingency that you should always put in your offers. Just don't ever think about it any other way, okay? Because it keeps you safe, but also what it does is it gives you an out. It gives you an out. So if your contingency is 14 days, on day 12 or 13, if I'm trying to sell that contract and I had no luck with anybody wanting to buy that contract, I'm going to go back and execute my contingency out. I'm going to say, hey, look, I went and inspected that property and I don't like it. It's not going to work for me. I'm going to get out. And as soon as I tell the seller that, I'm also sending my what? To the title or attorney's office. What am I sending, Joe?
Your EMD release form.
There you go.
Somebody's paying attention today.
That's right. Good job, Jill. Way to go, Jill.
Oh, yeah, pour it on. That's awesome sauce.
There you go, Jill. There you go. As soon as I tell the seller, I'm submitting my EMD release to the title or attorney's office, okay? Like at the same time saying, hey, look, I'm within my contingencies. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out, okay? That's why we have it there for two folds. One to keep me safe and one to make sure my EMD can get released because I'm inside my contingency. So know that, live that, be part of that. Those three steps, if you follow those three steps, use an LOI, keep your EMD safe by making sure that you put in there that you're either going to release it, whether you close or not, or that you make sure you keep it inside your contingency period and that you get a release form. And the last one is that you put a inspection contingency. Now, could you put all kinds of contingencies in there? Yeah, you could. But the reality is some of them are just nonsense. You don't really need them all. okay? But good contingencies is an inspection contingency. Everybody understands it. Everybody expects it. And I'm just here to tell you, for my listeners on the radio and through podcast, if you just follow those 3 things, you'll stay safe. Hey, listen, this is Zach Childers with another episode of Real Estate Investing Talk Show. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Also, join us on Facebook, reisuccessacademy.com/Facebook, so you can ask questions, because when I'm done with you guys, I'm going to be talking to my Facebook fans. See you next time. All right, Facebook, what we got?
We have a few questions here. We have...
SR's on here. He said, I'm a coaching student with AC. Man, we got a lot of AC students on here. He must start telling people about us now. He must be owning us now.
It's one of the things that I try to make sure everybody's logging on to.
He must be proud of his family now.
So, Rodney, he says, I have identified areas that will close within 30 days. Now I'm ready to start making calls. And he is also with AC. Who's
going to start making calls?
Rodney.
Rodney, you better start making calls. Look, there's a video on here called Calls Equal Results. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It was about 3 months ago. You need to go watch that. It's a powerful call. It's a powerful show that we did, all about what you're talking about, making phone calls.
He'll be here for the 2-day immersion as well.
He'll be here for the 2-day immersion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to blow your mind.
Daryl says, Daryl from Missouri is back. Oscar, he says, I know you previously said all contracts are assignable, but is the LOI assignable, or does it need to be converted to a standard purchase and sale agreement if I'm selling the contract to an end buyer?
You answered your own question. An LOI is not a contract. That's why we use it, right? It's an intent. It's a letter. Could you assign a letter? Of course you could, but there's no tangible components to the letter. There's no equitable rights to a letter. You understand? Like, the letter is just the letter. It's initiating my intent to buy from you, okay? When you're assigning or selling your contract, what you're really doing is you're selling your interest, your equitable rights to a contract. And that only happens when you're in an agreement, like a contract, an option, something of the nature of two parties agreeing with monetary money being exchanged, not a letter.
Okay, so then we have Oscar also, which you just answered. He said, what's the difference between well, no, you didn't, not really. But Oscar, he says, what's the difference between an option and an LOI?
An option is an agreement. An LOI is a letter. That's what it is. I could actually go into an option with you, and if I sign it and you sign it and we exchange $1, well, I'm in a fully executable agreement with equitable rights. If I go and send you a letter of intent that just says, hey, look, I'm interested in your property, and I'd like to buy it, and here's the price I would buy it at, and here's my contingencies, and here's my terms, and here's my intent, based on price, terms, and closing and all that. And if you agree to this, then sign this and send this back, and we'll go into a contract.
So Phyllis, she says, can a real estate agent be my bird dog?
Yeah, your agent could be a bird dog. If they understand the concept behind finding you a deal and getting paid versus finding you a deal, getting it listed, and then selling you the property as a listing to make commissions. I mean, you could. I mean, I don't know too many agents that would do that, because most of them want the commissions, unless they're trying to get a listing from someone, but that person doesn't want to list it. Then that would be a bird dog situation. So yeah, I mean, the answer would be yes.
Okay, so Tracy, she says, thank you, Zach and staff. You are all awesome.
Wait, hold on.
That is so awesome.
Grizzle says, Angel, hi. Then Tracy, I talked to her today. She is also having AC as their coach, and they will also be at the immersion.
AC's a machine, man.
Yes. Janine, she says, can I send an LOI to the seller's listing agent?
Yes, I do it all the time. They may not, they may call you back up and say, well, this isn't a contract. And you just simply say, well, good job. No, it's a letter of intent. But hey, if your seller's willing to acknowledge my intent to buy, go ahead and put that on a contract and send it over to me and I'll sign it. The point is, I'm still not doing the work.
So Jeremy says, do you need an LLC to wholesale?
Great question, Jeremy. So, first let me preface with this. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm not acting like a CPA. I'm not acting like an attorney. And I'm not giving you legal or financial advice. Let me be clear on that. But understanding the way transactions work in the IRS has the ability to label you as a real estate dealer if you are profiting from real estate in what's called short-term capital, meaning that you're buying something and you're selling it within 12 months and you're profiting personally, meaning your own name is profiting. They could step right in and label you as a dealer, okay? When you get labeled as a dealer, you lose a lot of benefits like 1031 exchanges. You personally go up to the highest tax bracket there is as a dealer. There's a lot more than that. You need to get some legal advice on that and some tax advice. But the question at hand is, did I really sell a piece of real estate, right? That's always the question when it comes to wholesaling. And the tax law is, well, I never really owned the property and I never really sold a property. I only sold my equitable interest in a contract. So therefore, I'm not flipping real estate. I'm actually flipping contracts. And so that's always the identity of like, how do you prepare yourself in a battle with the IRS if they come after you to be able to defend and say, well, I actually never really bought or sold real estate. I only ever sold my interest in an agreement to another party that then went and bought the real estate. Because the way that the dealer taxation law is written is short-term real estate transactions with personal gain. Well, that's the tricky part. Short-term real estate transactions, right? So could they label a real estate transaction as you selling an agreement to buy real estate? So the point being made is you could push the boundaries and see what happens, or you could just open an LLC, tax it as a C, not an S. They're automatically taxed as an S corporation, which is a flow-through tax entity. So when you open up an LLC, any earnings from that LLC at the end of the year flowed through to you on your K-1 personally. So if you want to separate it, which is where the benefit happens and what we refer to as dealer taxation protection, is you have to re-elect your LLC to be taxed as a C, which then separates its earnings from you, which then means that it's a standalone entity that makes its own earnings, pays its own taxes, and does not merge with you at all. And so that separates that. But I would highly advise you reach out to a company called Anderson Business Advisors. Okay? They can help walk you through that process. Because there again, I am not giving you tax advice or financial advice or legal advice. Those three things, let me be clear, I'm not giving you. I can only speak to you on my own personal experience. Jeremy, I hope you understood that.
Now, all of a sudden, everybody has gone quiet.
So much awesome! It couldn't be awesomer! Do yourself a favor, press it again! That's awesome!
Well, then that means that I did my job if I got everybody's answers answered and everybody's in a good place. So, hey, listen, I appreciate you guys today. I'm not sure we're going to have one tomorrow. The Dig Deeper tomorrow may not happen. So if you get a notice for it, jump on. I may be doing it driving down the road or hanging out at my house. I don't think I'll be doing it here, but I might just bring you some words of wisdom tomorrow. So, but know that next week is our giveaway. I want to give you a TV, okay? I want to give you a computer. I want to give you money. I want to give you a toolkit. I want to give you, what is it, a Kirk? Somebody here,
Keurig.
a Keurig. Somebody here said people might want a coffee machine, so I got you a coffee machine too. I want to give you that, but you need to call the office and get your name in the hat or the bucket or the box, whatever it is.
Janine actually popped in a question here at the last minute. She said, can sellers still accept offers from other investors after I gave my LOI?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A seller can accept an offer from anybody at any time. An LOI is just an intent. It's not binding, okay? Let me explain that to you. Once I go into a contract with you, who am I talking to? Janine. Once I go into a contract with you, Janine, and you've accepted, I've accepted, we've opened escrow, and there's a monetary exchange in place, then we are in an agreement to purchase. You would breach my contract if you went and accepted someone else's offer and went and closed with them, and then I would sue you to the hills and back for my losses, which you wouldn't want me to do that because I would. I've done it before, okay? What you can do is you can accept other people's offers in contingent if the first offer doesn't close, okay? It's like a backup offer. It's like a first right of refusal. It's like, hey, look, you know, Jill, I'm in a contract already with Mr. Childress over here, and we're supposed to close on the 12th, but this is your offer. Your offer, I'm going to accept that offer, and I'm going to put you in second place, which means if Mr. Childress does not close, I'm going to push you right into escrow. So that's what you can do.
So, all right. My Facebook messed up there for a moment, but Rodney says, can you go over the language on a contract to assign the contract?
No, I cannot. We're at the end of the show here.
Tammy says, I showed up late. Sorry.
That's okay. At least you acknowledged it.
Talon says, hi, Toby. I'll call you later.
Oh, what's going on there?
Phyllis said, what is the cost of your rehab of the $75K video deal?
I'd have to pull the numbers back up, but I think it was like 30-something thousand or something like that.
I don't have my
All right.
on today.
Cool beans! I always say I'm not going to go long, and I still went to almost 1:30. So, hey guys, I do this for you. Stay with us. Stay engaged. Share the message. Share the message. Give me a Christmas present this year and share the message. Get it out there. Let other people see it. Engage with them. Mr. Robert Cooper, if you're still on here, let's chat. I'm going to talk to you about some cryptocurrency I'm rolling into right now. Doubling my money, baby. Yeah. Talk to me, Robert. Other than that, I'm going to see you guys back here. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat place next Tuesday. You might see me tomorrow. I might go live out in the field. But other than that, I'm just going to take it easy the rest of the year and enjoy my holidays like you guys are. So I love you guys for being here, being engaged, talking to me, sharing your input. Love it all. This is Zach Childress, your real estate coach. See you next time.